All right, let's take a look at a couple of national mock drafts that are very recent. Chris Trapasso, CBS Sports, has the Browns taking a wide receiver in the first round, Elijah Moore. Now, he does fit the mold as a speed guy. I'm not so sure the Browns are going wide receiver in the first round, but again, they've done enough in free agency. If they absolutely love Elijah Moore, he's there at 26. I could see that potentially happening.
Yeah, Elijah Moore is somebody that I definitely could see them targeting in this draft. I don't know if it would be at 26. Again, it all depends on how the board falls. But Elijah Moore, he's a little bit on the shorter side, around 5'10", 5'11", if I remember correctly. But he plays a lot bigger than that. And that's the one thing that you're really looking for from a lot of these guys. And he runs very crisp routes, very good hands, and obviously had over 1,100 yards this past season. And so for him, I think that he could be a good fit in this. And on top of that, though, a lot of people talk about with free agency. Free agency is where you address your needs, where the draft is where you address the future. And with the salary of Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry coming into question in the future, obviously over $12 million for both of them. You have a lot of other extensions that you have to worry about, too. At a certain point, you also have to think about the future of the position. Who can you get who may be, making a little bit less at that position? I think that could be something that they look at. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be day one, but I do think that it could be something that factors in a little bit further down in the draft.
And then same mock draft, Chris Trapasso has them taking Gregory Rousseau in the second round. He has them falling to the Browns in the second round, edge rusher from Miami. There are some mocks that have him going to the Browns in the first round. So, again, that's kind of what happened. Browns fans aren't used to drafting in the back half of the first round. This is what happens. It's all over the board once you get past really the first 10 picks in this draft. But Rousseau's a guy that the Browns, I'm sure he's on their radar.
Yeah, and I think that with Rousseau, it adds into the intrigue of this entire draft class because, he's one of those guys who sat out this past year. He's obviously got the bigger frame, but didn't really test well at his pro day, too. So you're relying on 2 years tape from 2019, as well as subpar testing as well. It's an incomplete picture. I think the Browns are looking at him, and I think that they would probably, take a long look at him because you don't necessarily want to miss out on anybody, obviously, just to rule him out. But I think that with the incomplete picture, I don't necessarily know if the Browns would be absolutely all in when it came to Gregory Rousseau. And I think that the round 2 area actually makes a lot of sense for him, especially based on the testing numbers that he had as well.